Good evening. Yesterday I went to northern France to reveal that the migrant crisis is getting worse. There are so many more people here than the last time I was here. So many more. Hello, how are you? What country are you from? If we have a look at this row of people here, hard to say, probably 50 or 60 maybe. That's the equivalent of maybe one boat of people. And there's another group just behind there and everything. The illegal migrants have also got a lot more aggressive. So they make a bit of noise. All right, we're going to have to get out of here. We just had glass bottles thrown at us. Does that bother you? No? OK. Quick conversation? No? Fine? OK. All right, we are going to get out of here. They've obviously made their feelings clear. There we are. But the main point of the trip was to try to meet the human traffickers and show how easily it could be done. Mala, my name is Patrick Christys. I do a show on GBNews, and you are a human trafficker. We've got your face, we've got your details, we've got everything that we need to report you to the police. So the French police are going to have all of this information. Just come on, talk to me. Why not talk to me? Look, the game's up. It's finished. Just talk to me. Come on. Why do you help people break into Britain? Come on, Mala. You know, talk to me. We know who you are. Come on. You might as well. Where are you from? Well, this morning, French police appear to have raided one of the camps that I visited. And I'm actually going to show you some unseen footage from inside that camp in the next hour. And then, as if by magic, today, Sir Keir Starmer and David Lammy announced a new Smash the Gangs policy.
I was chief prosecutor for 5 years, and one of the things that I learned then was if you're going to smash a gang that's driven by money, follow the money. And that's why, in addition to all the other work we're doing here, today we're introducing a regime, a sanctions regime.
Today I'm announcing the first sanctions anywhere in the world that goes after those who engage in irregular and illegal migration. It's going after the men in suits that sit behind this evil trade.
I personally think that it's a problem that our Foreign Secretary won't call it illegal immigration. He won't call it that. He says irregular migration now. So they're going to sanction the people smugglers, are they? Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think the human traffickers are really exploiting anyone. They are providing a service that people want, and they're so brazen. On Sunday, we went into a camp. I posed as an illegal migrant. I was quoted 1,500 euros for the Channel crossing, and a group of people came to meet me. Oh. Hello. I'm Patrick Christys. I'm from GBNews. And you are a human trafficker, aren't you?
Are there?
Yes. Why are you bringing people illegally to Britain? Why are you bringing people illegally to Britain? So if you have a look quickly, just quickly, right, because we've got your face. Well, we've got your face here, and we've got your phone number, and we know everything about you. We know your name, Rama. So why are you illegally bringing people into Britain? What I would like to do is to see the government investigating the role that various charity organisations play in all of this. Just from some of my viewers' perspective, what they might think is that there's a warehouse full of men who are about to break into Britain here, and that
we have a job to do, so we're just going to go just now.
What is the job?
We don't really want to share that with you, but thank you for asking. Okay. But we're going to go. Yeah. Have a nice rest of your day. It's just like a lot of people might be a bit annoyed about this, you know, and that you're helping them. This information can save your life. How to send your GPS location when you call for help. They've even got advice on, watch out for a refrigerated truck. Getting on or off a moving truck is very dangerous. If you fall badly, get away from the road. And you can call the emergency number. There's also a bit on, if your boat starts to get pushed back, here's what you can do. This is a manual on how to break into Britain, isn't it?
The camps are bigger than before. We tracked down 3 human traffickers within a few hours, and I think the government needs to accept that the people coming across the channel aren't all victims, right? Have you had a random call lately from a strange number, maybe trying to sell you something or even scam you? If so, your info could be out there. That's because of data brokers, shady companies that scrape the internet for your personal details and sell them to marketers or even scammers. These days, scammers can even use AI to mimic your friends' voices and trick you into sending money. It's not just annoying. Data brokers often target vulnerable people with high-interest loans or sketchy offers. But there is a solution. Incogni, the sponsor of this video. Incogni contacts data brokers on your behalf and requests your info be deleted from their databases. And because your data can keep popping up, Incogni keeps sending removal requests to make sure it stays gone. They've just launched a new unlimited plan with custom removals. If you find your info on a weird website, just send them the link and their privacy team will work to get it taken down. Getting started is easy. Hit the link in the description, create your account and let Incogni handle the rest. It's risk-free for 30 days and you'll get 60% off an annual plan with the code GBNews. Take back control of your data with Incogni. Let's get the thoughts of my panel. We have Reform UK Councillor for Epping Forest, Jamie McIver, former Labour Party advisor Matthew Talbot, and of course, as well, broadcaster and columnist Esther Cracky. Right, OK, so bit of policy announcement today that they are going to try and sanction some of these human traffickers. You're laughing straight away at that, Esther. Why?
It's like, this is a comedy of errors.
Right.
Britain is being run by idiots. And you know what's crazy? And on a serious note, everyone knows what the solution is, which is if you come across the channel illegally on these small boats, you will not be allowed to stay. Then you destroy the market of these people smugglers and then boom. It's really that simple. And what is your excuse? Well, we'd like to make room for the women and children in Afghanistan, for example, who don't have 3,000 quid to pay people smugglers, for example. The solution is so painfully obvious, it beggars belief. And I think what people are frustrated with Keir Starmer is he's basically trying to do everything but the obvious. I actually think when he says smash the gangs, he's referring to some sort of intimate setting with these gang members. I don't actually think he's interested in smashing the gangs in the way that we would like him to smash the gangs.
Right.
Because clearly the gangs are thriving. Just to contextualize this, do you know the average gang in revenue from these people smuggling gangs make about £1 million a month?
Well, look, this is it, and we can see them. We can see them operating incredibly brazenly. There, Jamie. You know, it's one thing talking about freezing their assets. I do just seriously think
the boat.
Well, I do think that maybe Sir Keir Starmer should go to that migrant camp there and see for himself, because this government does not want to call them illegal migrants anymore either. It's irregular migrants, isn't it? I'm concerned about that use of language.
Well, firstly, well done for you for actually going, and I think you're right. I think the Home Secretary and the Prime Minister should actually pay a visit themselves. And if they were doing what you were doing with all of the resources that they have, MI5, MI6, I mean, this could be over overnight, frankly. But do people really think that David Lammy doing a press conference in front of the NCA does anything to stop those people that are earning thousands, if not millions, from this? This, of course, is... People know the minute they get to the shores of Dover, they ain't going back. People know that, they're prepared to pay for it, and these people are profiting from it. And until the British government actually starts to call them illegal migrants and starts to actually use the rhetoric we're seeing from Reform UK, which is that this is an invasion and it's a national security emergency, we don't know who these people are, they're coming to a hotel near you, as my community knows. Until we get round that, I'm afraid the British government will not be taken seriously.
Do you think this policy announcement of trying to freeze the assets of some of the human traffickers is actually going to make that much of a difference, or is it a bit window dressing?
I wouldn't be confident that it would. I think that part of this sanction is also they won't be allowed to come to the UK. I don't think they'll be bothered.
Well, yeah.
I think if they wanted to, they could.
No, this is it. And the problem is, I think it's very impressive that you went. And I think the reason why people can't just go is you will either go, well, that was brave, or actually very foolish. And that's not to knock you in any way. These people are dangerous people. Having been groomed into a gang before, a very different type of gang, there's a hierarchy. Now, these people, you know, maybe towards the bottom, but they're taking the money and sorting things out. Who's to say somebody doesn't come down going, this guy keeps fidgeting about, let's go and, you know, sort him out, essentially. And I don't think you can put leaders in that way. I would agree tentatively.
But can I just say with that though? But they are happy for us to have to live with it, aren't they? So Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper and all of that lot are happy for us to live with migrant hotels around the corner, to live with some of the crime issues and everything, and live with the fact that we've had some of those people smugglers, for example, their pictures are them with guns and helicopters. One of them's been dishing out ISIS propaganda. They're happy for us to live with that. So why shouldn't they go to those places and see it for themselves, you know? Why not?
I think I would tentatively agree with number 10 in that there isn't a silver bullet. I think there's several things that need to be done. There are international treaties that need ratifying, and the French clearly aren't doing enough. And in a way, this could be argued, it's all well and good our government doing something. We're paying hundreds of millions of pounds, and this lot are sort of doing whatever they want in many cases. I think you have to look at offshore processing. I think involved with the international treaties, you need to ensure that actually, if you do come here illegally, as Esther said, that you are deported, because at the moment there is no mechanism to be able to do that.
I just actually don't think they're doing anything.
Well, the thing is,
I just don't think they're doing anything.
Why would they do? They're not even calling it illegal migration, and it's they are of the view that they can skirt around the issue and do everything but just face it head on. We're not saying these people are. We're not saying they're not from desperate situations, they're not asylum seekers or whatever. The definition of illegal migration is if you enter the country illegally. Yes. Coming across on a small boat, it doesn't matter what you do when you get here. You could be a student, for example, or whatever. The fact that you're entering this country illegally without permission to do so, without a visa to do so, means you're an illegal migrant. They don't even want to say that, which is probably the most basic aspect of law.
But the problem is, as well, is ideologically, those Labour MPs, if it wasn't for the fact they were going to lose their seats to Reform, many of them, actually, they don't ideologically want to stop those boats. They would actually rather be on the shores of Dover welcoming them and finding them a really nice job in Camden or something. I'm afraid a lot of these Labour MPs would rather these people entered the country illegally and started a small business in their high street. I'm afraid we have a government which is supported by MPs like that, because that's how the government has been formed, and you've got members of Parliament who, frankly, don't mind.
OK. Oh, so what would you say to that, then? That actually, you know, what we were able to show quite quickly there was the fact that these camps have grown, which would indicate that they're not afraid of being smashed. And then you've also got the human traffickers that are just operating with absolute impunity. I don't understand why we couldn't stop that. Like, it just feels like they're not doing anything.
What I would warn Labour MPs and those around the government is those of them that are sort of more lefty-leaning, liberal, whatever, right? You have a choice here. You either take decisive action to stop people crossing in the first place. Them getting here and then deporting them is another story. You have to put something in place to stop them crossing, which will be a deterrent, because if not, Reform will do it in a way that you will not like whatsoever. So you owe it to the British people,
to your Reform. This is what I don't understand. Why should politicians act in the best interest of this country because they're scared of losing their seats? I'm sorry, 50 years ago, politicians actually thought serving this country was a form of duty. Like, they did it because they liked the country they were living in. And no, but
there's an element of that.
That's what we keep hearing
MPs
from
have
the
always
Labour
had
camp.
egos and self-preservation.
It's not about that,
of course they
though.
have.
We keep hearing from
Doesn't mean
Keir
it's right,
Starmer and Angela Rayner and all these people, Reform will get in. If we don't stop, Labour advisors saying, if we don't do this, Reform will sweep. Why is that your concern about Reform? What about doing right by the country?
What about the young girls that get sexually assaulted?
Exactly. What about people being concerned that there are these strange men hanging around their daughter's schools?
So one of the charity workers there, I actually put that to her. It's not in the footage that we've used there, but I just say to her, look, as a woman, how do you feel about the significant rates of sexual assaults and rapes that unfortunately are committed by people who enter Britain illegally? We've had some, also 1 in every 100 people currently at a migrant hotel is wanted for some kind of crime. So, you know, how did she feel about it? And there's no answer. They don't get it. And I would quite like to explore the role of the charity sector. When we saw a manual there on the side of a water cooler, which they, I think, were filling up, and that was just telling you how to break into Britain. There's a fine line, isn't there, Matthew, between the kind of charity sector and helping traffic people into Britain, I think.
Yeah, but I think this is purely because most people I've met in the charity sector, very nice, good-willing people, whatever, well, they're very middle class. These types of issues don't tend to affect them, and I don't wish to speak for them, but I can only assume that they think, well, they're going to do this anyway. you know, I don't want them to die, therefore we'll give them some safety information. Now, there'll be many people that go, well, if you're going to do something like that, if you die, that's your fault. But I suppose that's the sort of things that they're thinking. But I don't know, you'd have to ask them, and there is no answer, apparently. So
no, they weren't particularly keen. Look, I would just urge people like Yvette Cooper, like Keir Starmer, to go to some of those camps and then just see for yourself whether or not you think that all the people being brought across the channel are indeed victims, or whether they've decided that they want to do that of their own free will, and the gangs that are, they're not actually there taking advantage of them. They're just there to provide a service that these people want. I just don't know if they'd want to be confronted by that reality, really. But